For weeks, the farmer's prize cow refused to give a single drop of milk. The reason why was hiding in her stall, and it defied all logic. The bucket crashes to the ground. Milk splashes across the barn floor. Clayton Weston stumbles backward in shock. His prize Holstein cow, Penny, charges directly at him. Her eyes blaze with fury. Her massive head lowers dangerously. "Penny, what is wrong with you?" For 6 years, this cow never showed aggression. She was gentle as a lamb. Sweet as honey. The perfect dairy cow. Now she blocks his path completely. Her hooves stomp the ground. Her breath shoots steam in the cold air. Clayton backs toward the barn door slowly. His heart pounds against his ribs. Something is terribly wrong here. This is not his Penny. 3 weeks earlier, everything was normal. Clayton owned Green Valley Farm in rural Wisconsin. His dairy operation supported 23 cows. Penny produced more milk than any other. She was his star performer. Every morning at 5 sharp, Clayton entered the barn. Penny would moo softly in greeting. She would stand perfectly still for milking. Never any trouble. Never any fuss. But then the strange behavior started. First, Penny began hiding in corners. She would press against the far wall. Her body language screamed pure terror. Next came the aggressive protecting behavior. Penny would position herself between Clayton and the back corner. She would not let him pass. Her massive body formed an impenetrable wall. "Come on, girl. What has gotten into you?" Clayton tried everything he could think of. He brought her favorite treats. He spoke in soothing tones. He moved slowly and carefully. Nothing worked at all. Penny remained hostile and defensive. She refused to be milked. Her production dropped to almost nothing. The veterinarian, Dr. Pavel Novak, examined Penny thoroughly. "Her vitals are completely normal," Dr. Novak reported. "No signs of illness or injury. No infections. No parasites." Then why is she acting crazy? Sometimes cows develop behavioral changes from stress. Has anything changed in her environment recently? Clayton shook his head firmly. Nothing at all. Same routine for years. Dr. Novak packed his equipment slowly. "Keep monitoring her behavior closely. Call me if anything changes." But things only got worse. Penny began making the strangest sounds. Not normal cow moos. These were urgent, desperate calls. They echoed through the barn constantly. The sounds came from that back corner. The corner Penny guarded so fiercely. Other cows started acting nervous too. They sensed Penny's distress clearly. Milk production across the entire herd dropped. Clayton faced a terrible decision soon. His livelihood depended on milk production. If Penny could not be milked, she had no value. The practical choice was obvious. Send Penny to market immediately. But Clayton had raised her from birth. She was family, not just livestock. He could not give up easily. One more week, he decided. Then I have no choice left. Before we continue with Clayton's desperate final attempt to save Penny, don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel grow. Night fell across Green Valley Farm. Clayton could not sleep at all. Penny's urgent calls drifted from the barn. The sounds were heartbreaking and mysterious. At 2 in the morning, he gave up. He pulled on his boots and jacket. The October air bit his face. He had to solve this mystery tonight. The barn stood dark and silent. Clayton clicked on his flashlight. The beam cut through thick shadows. Most cows were lying down peacefully. But not Penny. She stood in the back corner. Her body trembled with nervous energy. Her eyes reflected the flashlight beam. Those urgent moves started immediately. "Okay, Penny. Show me what is wrong." Clayton approached very slowly this time. Instead of trying to milk her, he just watched. Penny's calls grew more insistent. She looked toward the corner. Then back at Clayton. Then at the corner again. She was trying to communicate something. Clayton moved his flashlight beam carefully. The corner appeared empty at first. Just hay bales and shadows. But then the light caught something. A flash of brown fur. Clayton stepped closer, his pulse racing. Penny moved aside slightly, as if granting permission. There, hidden behind the largest hay bale, lay a young deer fawn. The baby deer was barely alive. Its breathing was shallow and labored. Deep gashes marked its tiny legs. Blood matted its spotted coat. This was not a newborn. Maybe 4 or 5 weeks old. Old enough to survive on its own, but too injured to escape. Clayton knelt down carefully next to the injured fawn. His hands shook as he examined the wounds. "Coyote attack," he whispered to himself. The predators had found the fawn alone. They had tried to make a kill. Somehow, the baby had escaped. But it was dying now. Without immediate medical attention, this little life would end. Clayton looked up at Penny. Her eyes were soft now. Gentle. Full of maternal love. She had been protecting this fawn. For 3 weeks, Penny had stood guard. She had kept Clayton away from the injured baby. She had prevented him from discovering the secret. Until now. "You have been taking care of this baby, have not you?" Penny nuzzled the fawn gently. The tiny creature lifted its head weakly. Its dark eyes blinked slowly. Clayton understood everything now. The aggressive behavior was protective instinct. The urgent calls were requesting help. Penny had been asking him to save this life. The refusal to be milked made perfect sense. Penny had been feeding the fawn her milk directly, keeping it alive through maternal instinct. But there was a bigger problem. Dawn was still hours away. The nearest wildlife veterinarian lived 40 miles away. This fawn needed help immediately. Clayton faced an impossible choice. Move the fawn and risk killing it. Or leave it here and watch it die. Either way, time was running out. Clayton made his decision quickly. He could not move the fawn far. Too much risk. Instead, he gathered supplies quickly. The barn had a small utility room. Clean. Warm. Private. Perfect for emergency treatment. Clayton cleared the workbench carefully. He gathered clean towels and warm water. His hands moved with desperate efficiency. Penny followed them closely. She positioned herself by the utility room door. Her presence seemed to calm the fawn. The fawn's injuries were worse than expected. 4 deep puncture wounds marked its legs. Infection was already setting in. Fever burned through its tiny body. Clayton had treated injured livestock before. But never anything this delicate. Never anything this close to death. He cleaned each wound carefully. He applied antibiotic ointment. He wrapped the legs in sterile bandages. Clayton worked through the night patiently. He administered pain medication carefully. He monitored the fawn's breathing constantly. He changed bandages every hour. Penny never left her post. She positioned herself where the fawn could see her. She would move softly whenever it stirred. By sunrise, something amazing happened. The fawn opened its eyes fully. It looked around curiously. Its breathing was steady now. Clayton had never felt such relief. "We did it, Penny. We saved this life." A loud knock echoed through the barn. Clayton opened the door to find Officer Dale Briggs. The game warden looked serious and official. "Morning, Clayton. We got reports of unusual animal sounds. Neighbors think you might have illegal wildlife." Clayton's blood ran cold instantly. In Wisconsin, harboring wild deer was strictly prohibited. The penalties included massive fines, possible jail time, loss of his farming license. Everything he had built would disappear. Officer Briggs stepped inside without invitation. His eyes scanned the utility room quickly. "What is that on your workbench?" There was no hiding the truth now. "Officer Briggs, I can explain everything." The game warden approached the workbench slowly. His expression remained unreadable and stern. The fawn looked up with bright, alert eyes. It was clearly much stronger now. "This is a white-tailed deer fawn," Briggs stated officially. "You are aware this violates state wildlife regulations?" "Yes, sir. But there were special circumstances here." Clayton explained the entire situation rapidly. Penny's strange behavior, the discovery in the barn, the critical injuries, the night-long rescue effort. Officer Briggs listened without interrupting. His face showed no emotion. When Clayton finished, silence filled the utility room. Penny moved softly from the doorway. The fawn lifted its head toward the sound. "Mr. Weston, possession of wild deer carries serious consequences. The state takes these violations extremely seriously." Clayton felt his world collapsing. 20 years of farming hung in balance. His life's work faced destruction. "I understand, sir. But I could not let it die." Briggs walked around the workbench slowly. He examined the fawn's bandages. He noted the careful medical attention. "You did veterinary work without proper licensing. That is another violation entirely." Each word hit Clayton like physical blows. His farm, his livelihood, his reputation. All of it was ending now. But then Officer Briggs did something unexpected. He pulled out his phone and started recording video. "For the official report," he said. "I need documentation of everything." The video captured the fawn standing. Its wounds were healing well. Its eyes were bright and alert. Briggs filmed Penny too. The cow's gentle behavior around the baby was remarkable. "Mr. Weston, I have been a game warden for 15 years. I have never seen anything like this before." "What do you mean, sir?" "A domestic cow adopting an injured wild deer. Protecting it for weeks. Calling for help." Briggs put his phone away slowly. "This is not a case of illegal wildlife possession. This is an unprecedented rescue situation." Clayton hardly dared to breathe. "Instead of filing charges, I am calling the State Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. They need to know about this immediately." Relief flooded through Clayton's entire body. "You are not arresting me? On the contrary. You probably saved this fawn's life. The state should thank you." Briggs made his phone call quickly. He explained the situation to wildlife experts. They were amazed by the story. Within 2 hours, 3 vehicles arrived. Dr. Ingrid Castellanos led the wildlife rehabilitation team. She examined the fawn with expert care. "Remarkable recovery," she announced. "These wounds were life-threatening. The infection should have killed it." "Will it survive now?" Clayton asked nervously. "I think yes. This fawn is strong." 1 year later, Clayton received stunning news. Dr. Castellanos called with incredible updates. "Clayton, our rescued deer has started a family." "What do you mean?" "Trail cameras captured him with a female deer. They have twin fawns." Clayton felt overwhelming joy. Deer had not just survived. He had thrived. He was passing life forward. On quiet evenings, Clayton would sit with Bella. He would scratch behind her ears. She would lean against him contentedly. Two unlikely heroes resting together. "You saved him, girl. You saved us all." Bella would moo softly in response, as if she understood every word. The most important lesson of all, true heroism often comes from the most unexpected sources. When we choose compassion over convenience, miracles become possible. Thank you for watching this story. Please like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep bringing you more unforgettable stories.